All right, welcome to the first Lunch and Learn for February 2026. I've been really enjoying delivering these this year. The whole point is free information that can help you build your marketing better, because at the end of the day, we want businesses to be able to thrive and build plans that work for them. And in today's day and age, that means keeping up to date with what is happening in the digital marketing space in particular. So because of that, we're going to be talking about harnessing AI for hyper-personalized marketing campaigns today. Now, what's lovely about what AI is doing is it's helping us to level that playing field. So you don't have to have the big budgets that bigger businesses have to be able to compete properly anymore. So long as you're using tools that make sense for you at the point that you are at in your current business journey. So we're going to look at how small businesses in particular can afford AI, or can use affordable AI rather, to drive some good tailored experiences, because we want to make sure that people feel like they're also being spoken to. That's when your marketing starts converting. Spray and pray sometimes has worked in the past, but we're moving into a space where we're so bombarded by messages all the time that we actually need to be able to focus in and go, that was for me. This was for me. That spoke to me with where I'm at in my life right now. And that's what we want to be doing when we create messages with people, or for people rather. So at the end of this lunch hour, you're going to be able to understand hyper-personalization and why it is essential from this year. You'll be able to identify some free or low-cost AI tools to help you start personalizing your campaigns and implement 3 to 5 practical strategies. I've got some real-life examples that we can have a look at, and you could decide, yep, that works for me, that works for me, that doesn't work for me, and that's okay, because not everything does. And rather try something and get it out there and take it one step at a time. Also, we want you to avoid some very common pitfalls. There is danger with working with AI, and we want to avoid those. And we want to talk about measuring success and scaling gradually, okay? No marketing effort ever started off with everything all in one day. We start with something, we get it right, we bring the next thing, we get it right, we adapt, we adjust, we change, okay? That's what marketing looks like. It's why we've got testing and measuring as part of the language that we use in the space. So firstly, my name is Tamsin Haley. I am the founder and the for Digital Happiness. Ooh, we've got somebody. I'm just going to be letting them in quickly. So I'm the owner and the business development manager for Digital Happiness. We focus on building ecosystems for clients that help them to grow their business at the end of the day. And these ecosystems take place in a digital environment. So it's always strategy first, then we implement, we test, we measure, and we bring specialists in to do that for our clients. So how personal is your marketing currently? That is your first question that you need to ask. And sort of every business needs to think about that on a scale of 1 to 10. Number 1 being, I just put out a generic message about what I do, and I hope that people decide to do business with me. Well, number 10 is every message that you get from me will start with your first name and will correctly identify the issue that you are having right this moment. Now, that's where marketing is moving towards, thanks to AI, thanks to the information that is collected about all of us by these platforms. At some point, we're going to be able to individualize it to that extent. We're not necessarily there yet there yet in general, and I don't think the tools are 100% there yet, but we are seeing more personalization from bigger organizations. So you can always look to them to go, what is the next thing that you could be working on as well, and how are they executing it? So hyper-personalization is a conversation that we're going to be hearing more and more and more of. There are predicted trends that by 2035, this is going to be the way of marketing. If you're not on board with it, you could have a struggle keeping up. So it's better to get into it now, ahead of the curve, rather than falling behind. And that's why we're having these conversations. So what is hyper-personalization? So there's a bit of an example there. Hi, name. Hi, Trish, like I said. We'll be using real-time data from the behavior, the preferences, and the context that our clients are coming to us from in the digital space. And that's going to allow us to have very personal conversations with them where they feel like we know exactly what it is that they need, they're struggling with, which will also then help get better conversions in business. And that's what we want. So at the moment, we ignore irrelevant information and texts and the stuff that's out there because there's so much. If you wake up in the morning and you walk through to the kitchen and you're going to make yourself a cup of tea, you're opening up your cupboards, maybe of your pantry, and you've already got so much branding screaming for your attention. And all you're doing is you're looking for your Rick coffee or your Jacobs or whatever it is that you have in the morning. Then you get into the car and you turn the radio on and it's just before news hour and there's 3 ads and a live read. Then you drive past 4 billboards. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not even looking at our phone or jumping onto the internet. That's just in our real life, our everyday life. And because of that, we start ignoring messages. Now, those 4 billboards that you drive past every day, can you tell me exactly what's on every single one of them? Probably not. I can think that one of them has advertising King Price. And that was just because it was a good advert. You know, it's not necessarily speaking to me and my needs, but that one I can remember. I can't remember the other 3. We need to make sure that we are personalizing those experiences to help drive loyalty and sales. And as we can see, 81% of people ignore all of these messages that we have going on. It's only when something really connects with us and jumps out at us that we decide, oh, wait, that needs my attention. Our brains have gotten very good at this. So we need to be tapping into that psychological trend so that we can actually grow our businesses as well. So a key trend that we're seeing at the moment is that AI enables small businesses to match big brands in a one-to-one environment. And that's never happened before. It's all been about your spend and your budget, but now it's about your agents that you are using, your AI agents that are handling your workflows and even looking at your predictive analytics and behaviors. Okay, so we've got a couple that we're using for clients already successfully. I did something last year. I replaced myself as CEO, and this is before I realized how quickly the AI space was going to boom. And a big part of that was I need more time to research, play, test, measure, come back, decide what tools work and what ones don't, so that we can make really good recommendations to our clients, because we want to see growth. That's why we do what we do. Now, what do the numbers tell us? Let's have a look to see what the data is telling us before we start looking at some of the hyper-personalization that is now available. But personalized campaigns can boost conversions of up to 20%. Now, it's personalized if you have created some content that is speaking directly to a mother of a boy, right? So boy moms, girl moms, as an example. You don't need to get down to, hey, Kelly, how's Marcus doing this week? Doesn't he need some more bedding? Because, you know, he's grown out of Winnie the Pooh and he needs some Captain America these days, whatever it might be. That's super hyper personalization. But just even being able to talk to a boy mom and go, you know, your 8-year-old, because we can get that kind of data from Meta, is definitely over Winnie the Pooh. It's time to get into the Marvel universe. You know, great stuff. Oh, yes, he does love them. Let me go and get that. So a boost in conversions when we look at personalized campaigns. 77% of people are more likely to buy with relevant recommendations. So we are finding that we are depending more and more on other people saying that our business is amazing, rather than us saying, hey, we're amazing, you should do business with us. That has stopped converting a very long time ago. We've got a good combination here of making your customer the hero by personalizing the campaigns to their current situations and needs, and user-generated content. So recommendations come from other people, and that really makes a big difference. And then small businesses using AI personalization see higher engagement and repeat purchases. That's what we want. It's much easier to keep a client than it is to get a new one. So find your right people and keep them purchasing. What does your after-sales environment look like as well? What happens once they have purchased from you once? Are you reminding them to do it again and again and again? Are you giving them offers? Are you giving them loyalty programs? These are questions you need to ask so that you are not always chasing. It's exhausting. Build the relationship, keep them, nurture them. And what's lovely about this is that we can now compete with the giants, as I've said. We're removing all barriers and we're moving into a new age. So there's a shift from basic to hyper personalization. Okay, and I think basic is a very easy space for a lot of us to exist in. It's where all marketing starts, right? You started a business and you're going, that's what I'm going to sell. Maybe you've identified some basic needs. Maybe you've identified a bit of a target market, but how much do we actually know about them? We need to know more than just they live in Joburg and they're between the ages of 35 and 45. That's it. Sometimes that's what we get when we look at some meta advertising. That's the amount of information we get. We need to know a bit more about the people that we're looking to sell to. So exactly that, statistics, we're running the show, and now we're looking at real-time behavior-based journeys. So we've spoken about Meta and Andromeda in the last Lunch and Learn that we did. Exactly this. So if we just look at Meta as an example, we used to go and type in, okay, 35 to 45, they live in Joburg, they might like cats, maybe they drive a car. You would try and go and segment as much of their behavior as possible and put it into Meta, and then it would go and find people. Andromeda and the AI there has completely changed the way that the advertising works. Now you go and create custom audiences, which are based off of what traffic's going to the website, who is sitting in their Facebook audience. So if your Facebook audience isn't made up of the right people, it's going to be a problem, but it can be fixed. Who's sitting in your Instagram audience, who's engaging with your video content that you're putting out there, who has responded to the events that you've done, live real-time data. That's what is driving marketing and advertising going forward. And there are abilities, like it says here, with website actions, where if someone's on your website and you've got their details, you'll be able to send them an email or an SMS immediately. Hey, Kelly, see you're back on our site. Let us know if you've got anything that you need help with. By the way, 20% discount off until Friday, or whatever it might be. There's different ways to do it in the e-commerce space in particular. Now, we need first-party data, we need AI analysis, and we need automation. If we got those three working together, it makes our lives a lot easier. And that should be how you're planning to build your business. AI, yes, needs to take out a lot of the busy work, but it also needs to build a streamlined machine. Otherwise, you're just giving yourself a new job, which is then going to be AI prompter. Don't want that. So we need to also make sure that any information that we use, this is just a note, and it's important. We've got all these regulations around the world, like GDPR or POPI here in South Africa. We have to get consent from people. So just consent-driven information. We're focusing on ethical collection amid the regulations. So if people have reached out to you, made contact with you, you can talk to them. If they want to be removed, you remove them immediately. Make sure that you've got your papaya manual up to date. Make sure that you've got your privacy notice on your website, all of these things, because it is actually in action now that you could get fined for this. And they're not pretty fines either. So where could we start? We've got some essential AI tools for small businesses that we can work with, which are affordable and accessible in 2026. Just want to check here. I got a bing. Yep. Right. Good. So these are a couple of tools that you can look at using just to get you going. Have a look at them, pick one, play with it, pick another one, so on and so forth. Now, Klaviyo is really good for emails and SMS flows with AI personalization, and it starts at a really low cost. So if you're looking at how you can be communicating with people you already have in a database and you're building out a database, this is something to look at. I do often get asked if email marketing is dead. No, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Yes, a lot of people delete all those newsletters that are coming into their inbox, but the thing is if that happens, you were never part of that target market anyway, or they're not talking to you properly. So yeah, but when we have a good campaign, we can see we've got clients where every time we send out a newsletter, they have sales directly after. It's just about activating that database properly. So MailChimp is actually one of our favorites that we work with, and there's been a lot of great AI features that have been brought in and built-in suggestions. So I've always loved MailChimp, still loving MailChimp, and looking forward to seeing how they build out that space even further. The costing has changed on MailChimp, I will say that. So you are suddenly, with smaller audiences, having to start paying. It's not unaffordable amounts though, so something to just have a look at and consider for yourself and your own budget. Then HubSpot is free. It's a CRM system as well. It's got some great segmentation and recommendations that are coming in from AI as well. So if you want to be getting a bit more specific about who you're talking to and what you should say to them, they are thinking in that direction. Then we've got the world of ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and my personal favorite I actually didn't put on here is Grok. Now, these are prompt-based personalization brainstorming tools. You can get some very good baseline jumpstart content, ideas. I quite like to use Grok for research, so I'll ask him questions and get a whole load of information. Where it might have taken me quite a bit of time to go and scour the internet, I can have some data that I can just go fact check and then make decisions based off of that. So brilliant tools just to help speed up certain processes. Shopify Magic has come into play as well. So if you're on e-commerce and you're on Shopify, have a look at your auto product recs or descriptions. It's well worth starting to play around with that a little bit to make your life easier. And also that's going to connect you with better search results. Then there are also some emerging agentic tools, so like Revelance AI or something similar for outreach. We use one called Sales Union, which I absolutely love. It's built out of the UK and great for LinkedIn. So I can tell it I want to talk to accountants in South Africa, and this is what I want to say to them. And it will go and find me accountants in South Africa and start conversations. And then I only need to manage my inbox and go, oh, that person said no. Absolutely no problem. Thank you so much for your time. That person says they want to have a conversation with me. Great. Let me go and book a meeting with them to carry on having a conversation. Brilliant. So outreach is more powerful and far more affordable than what it would have been in the past as well. And then we've also got Nomos AI style agents, which can help for campaigns. So some things you can go and play with and experiment and see what works for you. So sometimes it helps to know what other people are doing. I found that in a group coaching environment when I started doing that at the beginning of my business journey. Just knowing what other people are trying, playing with, struggling with can help you get ideas and avoid pitfalls. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple here. So if you wanted an AI-powered email and SMS revival, you could first focus on some dynamic content, which will change offers based on your past buying behavior. Example, a local coffee shop sends your usual latte plus a rainy day discount. So if you know that I like a cappuccino, rather than the fact that my sister likes a flat white, as an example, you can now target based on that. And yeah, Klaviyo AI can help you to do that. And you can also start with some abandoned cart flows. This is probably something that is actually often overlooked in an e-commerce world, but having those abandoned carts set up properly makes a world of difference. It's an older animation, but the AI is making it smarter as well. So what else could we do? We could do some personalized product recommendations. So you can see here Shopify AI or some free plugins. So it can suggest, customers like you also bought. We've been seeing that on websites for a while, but it's becoming more intuitive. It's not just, sort of clumping things together. And why we want to do this is it increases your higher average order value, which we want at the end of the day. We can have some real-time website and ad personalization. So dynamic landing pages where returning visitors will see tailored hero images are very, very real and are making a big difference. So Meta and Google AI targeting can help us to do this by using lookalikes from first-party data. So if you've got a newsletter database, as an example, those email addresses could be used to create a lookalike audience that is strong and powerful enough to really convert people. So something to consider adding in. And then also looking at predictive and behavioral triggers. So AI will help predict the next best action. So for example, this customer browsed shoes 3 times, send sneaker care tips because they like sneakers. That's not going to be useful if they like high heels. Okay, so very customized to their preference. And that service business, and another example would be a service business using HubSpot to time your follow-ups, make your life simpler, not harder. So what does this look like in practice? Start with step 1. So step-by-step implementation is very important. And this is what that roadmap would look like. Start off with auditing your data. So go collect your first-party data ethically. Have a look at what email addresses you have, what's happening on your site, where else have you got data about your clients that you can use. right? Now, choose 1 or 2 tools to go and play with and practice with. I've given you a list. There are others out there. If you haven't gotten comfortable with ChatGPT, I would actually recommend doing that first. So get into your ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini. Start working with them first, because it'll give you an idea of the power of the rest of them as well. And then start with a free tier. You can pay later if you like it. I've only recently started paying for Grok because I wanted to make sure I liked him first, and I do. So now he gets paid for. And then build one campaign. So do a personalized welcome campaign, or focus on those abandoned carts, or pick one product or service that you want to test this with and see how you can build out a really good welcome series, or a really good campaign. Let it run, test it. It's the testing is letting it run. Twiggle with it, optimize it, do some A/B split testing with AI suggestions if you want to, and then look at how you can scale that to an omni-channel approach. So if you only did that as a paid advert, for example, on Meta, you could then do that in your Google Ads, you can do it in your newsletters, you can do an SMS campaign, bring it out into your whole ecosystem. It doesn't help if it's only in one place. So what could that look like? Week 1 is your setup. You launch in month 1, and then you get a result across 3 months. Use something for 3 months, decide what works, twiggle, play, twiggle, play. I have been a victim of this as well. When you bite off too many projects and you're heading off in too many different directions, nothing gets done properly. So bring in that focus and achieve what you can do. So we want to measure success and see what some common pitfalls are as well. Have KPIs, right? Key performance indicator. Know what it is that you want to measure and what success would look like for you. So I'm going to run this campaign. It's going to cost me 5,000 Rand. If I make 2 sales, that 5,000 Rand is made back, so it breaks even. But if I make another 2 sales, then I've made profit. So 4 sales and for that 5,000 Rand budget could be well worth it, right? And you can scale from there and figure out how much does one sale cost. Well, you can do that once you've got all the data, but step 1 first. So do that and then go, right, how can we increase the conversions? Repeat the purchase rate, or get a repeat purchase rate? Are you looking at your customer lifetime value? All of these different things are great questions, and you can go and look to see how you're going to roll that out for yourself. Use the analytics that are built into all the tools, and please, if you don't have Google Analytics running on your website, go and get that set up. You want to know what's actually happening with the traffic that arrives on your website, so that you can make better informed decisions. If it's all arriving and then leaving immediately, so we call that a bounce rate, that means that your website needs some work, or your messaging isn't the same as your website. So then you can go and assess and see what's gone wrong and how you can do that better going forward. So some pitfalls to avoid: your creepy over personalization. It was like, hey Kelly, Marcus needs some new bedding now that he's a big boy. That is maybe a little bit too much information, and we just need to dial it back a little bit. Like, always remember that the person receiving the messaging is going to take it based on their own context. So take into consideration your end user at the end of the day. Don't scare them away. Don't go into data silos. Well, this person only bought this, and this person only bought this, and this person only bought this. Cross-pollination and upsell opportunities sit in that space, and you're potentially limiting yourself and your business when you do that. Don't ignore consent and privacy policies. So check updates, keep an eye on them, make sure you are compliant, make sure you are talking to people in a way that they have agreed to, and if they want to opt out, let them opt out. They're not going to be your return client anyway. And then also, don't over rely on AI without any human review. Don't type something into ChatGPT and it creates some copy for you, and you go, okay, copy paste. People are allergic to it. Like, we are becoming allergic to just AI generated content. It's why Google has come back and said that they will no longer be paying for channels that are AI, that have AI generated content on it when they hit those nice high view rates. So you cannot monetize YouTube channels in that way anymore. All right, so if you want some, so this was some examples from the last one I did, such as Andromeda, just to remind you that we're getting better conversion rates with it, and it's well worth the move over. There was actually a shift in January, which is good for you to know about. So the 15th of Jan, Meta stopped supporting the old way of setting up ads. So that means that we're being pushed towards Andromeda, whether we like it or not. And there is a time where there's a bit of a learning curve for the AI. So it's important that we make that move now, not sooner rather than later. Now, the time has come because you're already behind. So I have a challenge for you. Go and implement one new thing from this week's session and share it in my Facebook group. I've also shared the link in the chat here on Google. So if you want to just go and grab that, you can. And tell us what you did and how it's working. So digital happiness as a whole, I mentioned this, we have typically always worked with clients to do the work for them. So they would pay us, we work alongside their business and we go and implement it. We offer the service, is something we're very good at, and we like helping our clients to build out a marketing ecosystem which works for them. These are a few of our very happy clients, and we're very excited that we get to work with such cool people. Now, we've got a few new things this year. So we've got these information sessions, which will happen twice a month, the Lunch&Learns, which you're busy watching now. And these are just designed to give you great information that you need to be aware of because digital marketing is changing at such a rapid pace. But we're also launching quarterly live events this year. They'll be taking place in Cape Town and Johannesburg during different months. This first one is here in Cape Town. We're going to be at the Kelvin Grove on the 19th of March, and it's a full day event. You can see 9 to 3 o'clock. A bit of networking because we're taking up to 50 people maximum only. And we want to make sure that you get some bang for your buck. So what's going to be happening is Annie Ofue, who is from Storied. She's amazing at what she does. She helps businesses to better tell their story and then pulls that into brand content and marketing messages that can be used anywhere. Your elevator pitch, if you're networking, to social media content, to paid ads, to website content. The results of her work are really absolutely amazing. So she'll be taking the morning session and pulling your business journey into stories. And then in the afternoon, we're going to talk about how you can take those stories online to make a bigger impact for yourselves. Now, I'm going to be sharing tips and tricks that I rolled out with Ford last year, which helped them increase their sales by 6% nationally. So we had a 7% target. I will say that by the time the end of the campaign ended, we had a 6% increase, and still a lot of active live leads out there. So they might actually be well close to their 7% at the moment. There is a event link on Quicket. Because you're here today, you're the first to know about it. Technically, I actually only start promoting this next week, but you're welcome to go and really sign up there on Quicket. You'll see that there is a early bird fee. On the 5th of March, it increases. So please go and get it done sooner rather than later. And then also our Done With You offering. This is something I'm very excited about. I think sometimes outsourcing is not accessible to the businesses who need it most, who tend to be our smaller and startup businesses. So looking at how we can empower that journey. And what that looks like is marketing group coaching. I've learned so much through coaching, and I think that all businesses should have a coach of some sorts. I can help in the marketing realm. So that's what we're going to do. What that journey looks like is when you want to sign up for the group coaching, we will have an individual strategy session. So just you and me, we're going to work out what it is that you're going to work on in your business, in your marketing, and we'll set the marketing blueprints, a bit like a project plan, right? So that's what we're dedicating to do in the period of time that you're going to be part of the coaching. And what is nice is that if you do get to the end of those tasks and goals, we can always reset the next ones, because there's always something else you can be doing in your marketing. And there's so much shift sometimes that happens that we need to go back, sort, fix, every 3 to 5 years, think about a rebrand, all those different things. Then once we've got a plan, you'll go into a group coaching environment. So that's to help with the accountability and some knowledge support. I don't know how to do this. I tried doing it this way and it didn't work, whatever that might be. And there'll be 2 group coaching sessions a month. We'll also have the opportunity to learn from other businesses and what they're trying out. And that's one of the things I loved about group coaching environments, is I found that I learned so much from the other business owners and what they were going through, that I was able to adapt and shift my plan. So it's creating an environment where you can get that information and make the best decisions for yourself based off of that. You also will be available or able to email or WhatsApp me at any point in time if you need some more support or some ideas or some help. It's not going to just be secluded to those monthly sessions. So the groups themselves are going to kick off in April. At the moment, we've got 6 weeks to set those individual strategies so that we're ready for them at that time. And I'm taking a maximum of 8 business owners in that group because I want to make sure we've got some good personal attention going on as well. And I don't want anybody to get lost in the crowd. So this will be 4,500 Rand, ex-VAT a month to be part of this group coaching environment. So thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope that this next Lunch and Learn has helped you get some great ideas of how you can build out some things in your future. Go and grab that challenge by the horns. Go and try one of these AI tools, something new that you haven't done before. Okay, so if you're a ChatGPT aficionado, pick something else. If you've never done ChatGPT, start there and come and share on the Facebook group how it's gone, what you've done, what you learned. Love to hear from you and how this has been helpful.